1-ton prop. Richard Serra, 1969. The first thing she smells as she steps off the elevator into the loft of the Lower East Side is marijuana. It is even more potent than the burnt rubber and molten lead. She takes off her knit poncho and slides 2 thick bracelets high on her left bicep. Her tall red boots echo down the hallway. "Did you order the tie?" He twists out his joint. "I thought we might go out. On Fridays, it could take hours for delivery." He watches her strut down the hall, more equestrian than artist, still wearing that damn Camel Cigarettes t-shirt. He waits for her reaction, like a child coming home to a lit-up Christmas tree, a train circling around the truck. With all the presents wrapped, she places her forearms on the table and cocks her hip. "So you didn't order anything?" "I was busy." He smiles, waiting. She says nothing. He appears as he always had, self-satisfied with the consuming intensity in his black eyes. He places his hands in his pockets of his hooded sweatshirt, then kicks his work boots together. A clump of mud falls on the floor. There is a loud silence between them. "It's so effing large." She walks around the steel box, 4 lead plates leaning against the other, no top, an open container, the size of an adult playpen. If she stood in it, it would be up to her waist, yet it's not sturdy enough to crawl over. You can see light coming through the cracks. She wonders if she will ever see him and not it again. Let me guess, low-rate movers. Philip, Chuck, and Spaulding help me carry it in. "Jesus, you guys aren't kids anymore." She stands far enough away from it in case it collapses. "I hope it doesn't fall through the ceiling." It won't. It looks unstable. It's self-supporting. It's interdependent. Do you want to guess the verb? "To prop," she says flatly. "Nance, I finally found it, what I've been waiting for. It's a box, Richard." His eyes shift between her and the sculpture. He wants to kick it with his steel-toe boot just to show her how secure it is. But what if she's right? What if it falls into itself like a house of cards? It's not supposed to have function. He's not an architect. He's an artist, and artists are supposed to take risks. He had to do something that held weight, that would be a nod to his father, who was a pipe fitter in a shipyard, that brought him back to his roots, working in a steel mill all those teenage summers. He's a blue-collared guy, not like her, an heir to the Crane paper family. He needed to stand out from his older brother, Tony, the famous civil rights lawyer who was defending Huey Newton in a murder trial. What can an artist do that is bigger than that? "You would see it that way," he says, yanking the window. Sirens and warm garbage fill the loft. He glares at the moon. "You were just throwing molten lead around like Hephaestus. Now you're a minimalist." At least it doesn't pretend to be anything other than it is. What is that supposed to mean? She feels heat rise to her face. She wonders who is supporting whom in the relationship. "Do you mean me? I'm talking about the art." "Are you saying my work pretends to be taxidermy?" "I'm saying that I don't want to be another rock on the wall. I need to clear away the clutter, become the wall." Become the wall? Is she the clutter? "I need to do something more truthful," he said. She wants to reply, "I'm sick of all you men who are constantly bragging about truthfulness." How does anyone know what the truth is when it's always changing? Wasn't Paris the truth? Yes, their landlady threatened to kick them out when she realized they weren't married. But weren't they mad for each other when they finally said those stupid vows? Richard had stopped painting and started working with live and stuffed animals. That picture of him with a shit-eating grin, one arm in a pig's trough, so willing to play, to explore. Wasn't that true? She, already a Fulbright, helped him with his application and then became a scholar himself. Now he resented her for her pedigree. But weren't they the same? Both coming from Yale, then Paris, then Italy? Didn't they have the same dream once? Is this about the Whitney? Because if it makes you feel better, the Time referred to me as Mrs. Richard Sarah. No, it's about me wanting to be the greatest sculptor in the world. You're gonna kill someone with that thing. He shoves his wallet into his pocket. I'm heading over to Judson's. Who's dancing tonight? Everyone knew Joan Jonas was dancing. It was the talk of Max's all week. Don't know, he replied. Spaulding and Philip are going. I'm starving, she said, walking to the window. I wish she would have ordered the Thai. At least I would have had something to eat. As he locked the door, she studies the moon's splotchy face, its rough topography riddled with innumerable shadows. One day, she will paint tiny grains of lunar dusk with acrylics on canvas. One day, those paintings will hang in yet another museum. But tonight, she will go back to one of her camel sculptures without eating. And when she is up to her forearms in feathers and clay, she will think, isn't it funny how some people use relationships to satisfy what's blocked inside of them, while others use art?